I was never one to believe in the supernatural. Ghost stories, urban legends, all of that. Just tales to scare kids around a campfire. But what happened to me in the fall of 2023 has left me with a lingering sense of unease, and to this day I can't explain it. I just moved into a small apartment in Dallas, Texas, a cozy but affordable place in an older building. The previous tenant had left in a hurry, according to the landlord, breaking his lease with no explanation. That should have been a red flag, but I was too focused on unpacking and getting settled to care. My apartment was on the second floor with only one unit directly above me. It wasn't long before I started noticing strange noises from upstairs, footsteps pacing late at night, furniture scraping across the floor, and an odd rhythmic tapping that would come and go. At first I assumed it was a heavy-footed neighbor, maybe a night owl, but something about the sounds felt off. They didn't match the usual patterns of a person moving around. One evening around 2 a.m. I was woken by what sounded like someone running across the ceiling. The steps were frantic, as if someone was being chased. Then, suddenly, silence. Not a gradual stop, just gone. I sat up in bed, heart pounding, waiting for something more, but nothing came. The next morning I ran into the landlord and casually mentioned the noises. He gave me a strange look. "There's no one living up there right now," he said. "The apartment's vacant." I laughed, assuming he was joking, but his expression remained serious. "Last guy left without taking his stuff, wouldn't even come back for it." That night the sounds returned, footsteps pacing, that same repetitive tapping. It was almost hypnotic, like a metronome ticking away. I knew what the landlord had said, but curiosity got the better of me. I grabbed my phone and went upstairs. The hallway outside the unit was dark, the overhead light flickering weakly. I knocked, half expecting someone to answer. Nothing. I tried the doorknob. It was locked, but as I turned to leave, I heard something from inside. A whisper, too faint to make out the words, but unmistakably a whisper. I felt a chill crawl up my spine and bolted downstairs. I convinced myself I was just tired, maybe imagining things. But then things inside my own apartment started to change. Items weren't where I left them. The kitchen faucet would be running in the middle of the night. My bedroom door, which I always closed before bed, would be wide open in the morning. One night as I was dozing off, I heard it again, the running above me, followed by a loud thump. I jumped up and listened, but this time there was something else, something worse. A dragging sound, like something heavy being pulled across the floor. And then, clear as day, a single knock on my ceiling. That was enough. The next morning I told the landlord I was moving out. He didn't argue. He didn't even ask why. He just nodded, as if he had heard it all before. As I was packing my things, I saw a maintenance guy heading upstairs. I hesitated before asking, "What's the deal with that apartment anyway?" He paused, then sighed. "A couple lived up there, young, had some problems, fighting a lot. Then one day the guy left and the girl..." He trailed off, shifting uncomfortably. "What happened to her?" I asked. "They found her a few days later, in the bedroom closet. Been there a while. Nobody's lived up there since. I moved out that same day." A few weeks later, curiosity got the better of me and I checked online for any news about the building. But there was nothing. No reports, no obituaries, nothing to confirm what I had heard. It was as if the story had been erased. But sometimes, late at night, I still hear that sound in my head. The running, the dragging, and that single deliberate knock. And I wonder, was she ever really found? Or is she still there, waiting for someone to open the door,